Namaste. Welcome to Zeel's Astrology, your go-to channel for all things Vedic astrology. Now on November 28, retrograde Jupiter will re-enter Rohini Nakshatra in its 4th pada. Jupiter will stay in this nakshatra until April 10, 2025. Next year, however, it will turn direct on February 4 while still in Rohini. In simple terms, retrograde Jupiter will be in Rohini for little over 2 months. Retrograde motion is all about revisiting past karmas or actions. When a planet goes retrograde, its speed slows down. It can now reflect or reanalyze on the things that have been missed or the actions which have been performed by the native during its progressive phase in the same spot. Think of it like walking down a familiar road. The planet has already traveled this path, so now it can pause, reflect, and reassess what's happened along the way. Before I continue, if you are joining us for the first time, a warm welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and help us spread the magic of astrology by liking and sharing our videos. Remember to tap the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. And you can also follow me on Instagram for more updates and insights. And if you are interested in personal consultation, feel free to send me an email. All the links are provided in the description box below. Now there's often a misconception that Rohini Nakshatra is only about materialistic things. While it does represent wealth and prosperity, it also stands for agriculture, warmth, beauty, growth, creativity, productivity, stability, and even realistic love and relationships. It offers so much more than what meets the eye. As mentioned earlier, Jupiter will take this time to revisit and reassess all the aspects associated with Rohini Nakshatra. So during this phase, any issues related to agriculture, development, or finances might resurface. This period could give you an opportunity to reflect on past decisions, whether it's about investments, property, or any other financial matters. For example, if you have made investments, be it in stock market, real estate, or any other areas, you might find yourself re-evaluating those choices. Where were those investments sound? Do they need adjustments now? This is the time to rethink and make improvements based on past actions. Additionally, on December 27, Saturn will re-enter Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra, which is ruled by Jupiter. So when this happens, there is a possibility of issues related to agriculture or land disputes coming to light. Any karma tied to dishonesty, such as unfairly or illegal acquiring of land or property, could surface during this time. These themes might become particularly prominent after Saturn's entry into Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra. Because now Saturn is in direct motion and in the last phase of its transit in Aquarius, where it will start delivering the results of your karma slowly and gradually. This phase is significant because Saturn may bring unresolved or negative karmas to the surface, giving you the chance to reflect and learn. And by considering other planetary positions, during this period, there's also a likelihood of natural calamities such as earthquakes to happen. And since Rahu is transiting the sign of Pisces, it can trigger a strong desire of wealth and materialistic gains among people. However, Jupiter might not necessarily fulfill these material aspirations. Instead, both Saturn and Jupiter together could deny excessive, luxurious, and material rewards. And we may even witness scams related to wealth and luxury coming to light. Why? Because Saturn is now direct. I am repeating this once again. Saturn is now direct and in the last phase of its transit and positioned in Satabhisha Nakshatra, exchanging energy with Rahu. Since Satabhisha is connected to healing, we have already seen some issues like medical scams, fake doctors, and unethical practices in the healthcare sector being exposed lately. Saturn brought it to the surface. So when Saturn will enter Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra, the nakshatra which is ruled by Jupiter, and the combination of both Saturn in Purva Bhadrapad and Jupiter in Rohini will bring issues related to land or agriculture to surface. It's also interesting to note that Saturn is 10th from Jupiter and Jupiter is 4th from Saturn. So Saturn is the karma of Jupiter and Jupiter is the happiness of Saturn. Here's what makes this period even more complex is Saturn is direct but Jupiter is retrograde. So this creates a scenario where Saturn as the righteous planet pushes Jupiter to bring unresolved karmas to light. Saturn will demand accountability, especially for selfish or dishonest actions, and may encourage Jupiter to administer justice when necessary. And why Jupiter will administer justice or punish the wrongdoings? Because Jupiter is Guru. Jupiter is not just a simple sattvic positive planet, though it has more significance to it. Brihaspati, being the Guru, carries the responsibility of guiding us on the right path. Like a teacher, if it observes that someone is straying, it will do its best to bring them back in the right direction. This is Jupiter's duty as a Guru. But obviously Jupiter won't have the harsh way of punishing, just like Saturn. Like every planet, it has its own unique way of delivering lessons. Now for those who have been facing financial difficulties but have stayed ethical and righteous, this retrograde period of Jupiter could bring positive financial opportunities. Vakri Jupiter operates differently from direct or a progressive Jupiter. Here, since Jupiter has already traveled through Rohini Nakshatra before, it is now revisiting the same path in its retrograde motion. So Jupiter knows where this path goes and what lies on the road. But this time, it has to see it minutely, reflecting deeply on what has been overlooked or left unresolved. Retrograde Jupiter in Rohini Nakshatra will try to keep you out of your comfort zone. Though Rohini does not like to move out from comfort zone, so this can make one a bit frustrated. Someone recently commented that nothing ever goes right in life, only bad people win and this and that. Yes, I understand that many people feel disheartened. You might think that only corrupt individuals seem to be thriving, especially financially, while genuine people are struggling. Yes, this happens. And it's a harsh reality, but we must remember that everyone's destiny and journey are unique, guided by their individual charts. No matter what the transits indicate, if something isn't written in your chart, it won't happen, no matter how hard you try. Similarly, if something is destined for you, whether positive or negative, you will inevitably experience it. This is the essence of prarabdha. For those engaged in negative karmas or corrupt practices, they will eventually face the consequences of their actions, either in this life or in the next life. The law of karma spares no one, and no one can escape its effect. If you are a genuine person facing challenges in your life, it's worth reflecting that these difficulties could be the result of negative karmas from a past life. This is the cycle of karma, where actions from previous births can influence your current circumstances. While this might seem disheartening, it's also a chance to learn, grow and break the cycle by consciously choosing righteous actions and a positive mindset in this life. So my advice is to focus on maintaining a balanced mind. Reducing stress is crucial because only with a calm mind you can think clearly and find solutions to the problems. Even if your chart signifies challenges, a balanced mind will help you navigate them better. Remember, no transit or phase lasts forever. This too shall pass. Now, on the positive note, this period has spiritual potential. Jupiter is retrograde, transiting Rohini. With Rahu in Pisces, this could enhance your spiritual journey. Rohini Nakshatra represents true and pure love and devotion. So this period can actually provide you true love for God, that is Prem Lakshana Bhakti, the highest form of spirituality as per Bhagavad Gita. Remember, spirituality resides within Prakriti, nature, which Rohini indicates. And once Saturn enters Purva Bhadrapad, it will enhance the spiritual part because Purva Bhadrapad also indicates spirituality. Additionally, Jupiter in its retrograde motion may shed light on any hidden or underlying health issues you might not be aware of. If this happens, take it as an opportunity to address those issues and work towards resolving them. Jupiter will provide you the insight and resources needed for healing. So use this period wisely, as the current and upcoming period is not too positive. Taking care of your health and overall well-being is essential. Now talking about retro Jupiter's aspect. Jupiter's fifth aspect falls on Virgo, where Ketu is currently positioned. This combination creates a highly spiritual influence, as retrograde aspects are considered more intense than direct ones. This is an excellent period for deep spiritual growth and introspection. Also, a good period for gaining specialized knowledge, particularly in technical fields, research, astrology, mysticism, or the occult. Now with its seventh aspect, retro Jupiter influences Scorpio. Here, retro Jupiter will show you the positives and negatives related to that particular house. Since it is also aspecting Mercury as of now, because Mercury is positioned in Scorpio, it will also try to control the negatives of this Mercury and the other negatives which are associated with Scorpio, as Scorpio as of now is highly afflicted. So it will try to guide you to the right path. Both Saturn and Jupiter will try to show you the true path. So rather than getting influenced by Rahu's Maya, use Jupiterian wisdom and Saturn's patience for better decision making. Now Jupiter's ninth aspect falls on Capricorn. Ninth aspect is all about dharma and spirituality. Since Saturn is in Aquarius and Jupiter aspects Saturn's signs Capricorn, it will provide you with spirituality and strengthen your sense of purpose. It will also provide positive outcomes related to the concerned house if you have followed an ethical and disciplined path during this transit. Who will be the most impacted by this transit? Those running Jupiter or Moon Mahadasha, Antadasha, individuals with prominent planets in nakshatras of Jupiter and Moon, as well as Scorpio ascendants, Taurus ascendant or moon sign, Libra ascendant or moon signs, Aries ascendant, Sagittarius and Pisces ascendant will all experience noticeable and prominent effects of this transit. For the remedial measures, it will be best if you can chant Vishnu Sahasranam or Hanuman Chalisa. If you are not comfortable with chanting the Sanskrit shlokas, then you can also read the meaning of those Sanskrit shlokas in your preferred language. As I always say that its meaning is also as powerful as the Sanskrit shlokas. If possible, read at least once in a day. Now let's start with ascendant-wise analysis. Aries ascendant. For Aries natives, retro Jupiter is transiting your second house and has entered Rohini Nakshatra in the same house. This transit holds the potential to address financial and family matters positively. Those struggling to find new income streams may discover opportunities during this period. Jupiter in Rohini, ruled by the moon and associated with nurturing and love, provides an excellent time to mend strained family relationships. Jupiter's guidance can foster harmony and healing in family bonds. But since Jupiter is retrograde, Jupiter will also reassess and analyze how you manage your finances and your family. And since retro Jupiter being 12th lord in your second house and Rahu transiting your 12th house, this can bring increased expenses for you. So be careful with your expenses, because Rahu in your 12th house can amplify expenditures, especially unnecessary ones. So be very careful with your spendings and try to save or invest in safer options to avoid financial stress later on. Also, retrograde Jupiter in Rohini can make you more interested in different kinds of food, because the second house represents food, and moon is also the karak of second house, and moon also represents food. So while enjoying good food is tempting, but watch your eating habits to avoid health problems. Rahu in the 12th house, Ketu in the 6th house, and Saturn aspecting your first house could make it easier to fall into unhealthy routines. So staying disciplined is important. Your food habits can play a major role in affecting your health. This period could require you to revisit or rethink financial decisions or strategies. This might involve reworking plans to improve income or re-evaluating how you manage family matters. Changes in your food habits might also be necessary for better health and overall well-being. Now, retro Jupiter in Rohini will aspect Ketu and the sign of Virgo, your 6th house. Here it will encourage you to review your daily routines and health habits. If any part of your routine is negatively affecting your health, Jupiter will push you to make the necessary changes. You might need to put in extra effort to bring balance and improvement in these areas. Now, retrograde Jupiter in Rohini will aspect your 8th house, the sign of Scorpio. Retrograde Jupiter is aspecting 8th house, so this is a favorable time to explore subjects like astrology, occult sciences, mysticism, or other research related intensive fields. If you are involved in technical work or studies, this period could help you dive deeper and gain greater insights. Now, retrograde Jupiter in Rohini is aspecting your 10th house, the sign of Capricorn. If you have been facing issues in your career until now, then this transit may provide you positive results. And if you have been on the ethical path, on the path of dharma in your career until now, then it will also provide you positive gains. And lastly, it can also provide you positive gains or advancement in your career if your chart supports. Taurus ascendant. For Taurus natives, retrograde Jupiter enters Rohini in your first house. This period will slowly and gradually bring positive results for your hard work. It is important to remain patient during this period, as rewards will not be instant. Additionally, this transit emphasizes the need to take care of your health. As the 8th Lord, retrograde Jupiter is in your first house that can bring health issues to the surface. If any health concerns arise, address them promptly rather than ignoring them. For those working in fields such as archaeology, research, astrology, technical disciplines, mysticism, this is a favorable time to achieve success. It's also an excellent phase to deepen your knowledge or learn something new in these areas. Jupiter's retrograde aspect on your 5th house, where Ketu is currently positioned, may bring unresolved matters to light, especially in love relationships or issues with children. If you are in a toxic relationship, this period may help you recognize and address these issues. For students, the aspect of Jupiter will support you in staying focused and working hard, countering Ketu's tendency to cause distractions. The 7th aspect of retrograde Jupiter falls on your 7th house, Scorpio. This could reveal challenges in marriage or partnerships. It may bring existing issues to the surface, but Jupiter's influence will also guide you towards resolving if you approach the situation with wisdom and patience. Business owners experiencing setbacks may see gradual improvements during this time, though ups and downs are still likely. Now, the 9th aspect of retrograde Jupiter falls on your 9th house. This highlights spiritual growth and the importance of staying on the path of righteousness and ethics. This is a favorable time for spirituality and aligning your actions with higher principles. However, take extra care of your father's health, as the debilitated retrograde Mars is aspecting this house, which could indicate potential health issues. Jupiter's influence, however, will offer guidance on addressing and resolving such concerns. This transit offers a blend of challenges and growth opportunities, urging you to focus on resolution, self-improvement, and walking a righteous path. Gemini Ascendants. For Gemini natives, retrograde Jupiter will be transiting Rohini Nakshatra in your 12th house. This period might push you to take closer look at your finances and spending habits. It's a good time to reflect on why you are spending and whether those expenses are truly necessary if you have been overspending or making impulsive purchases. And if somehow you are forced to look upon your expenditures, this is your chance to reassess and make some changes. In relationships, especially marriage, this period might bring certain issues to light. If anything does come up, use this time to address and resolve those matters calmly. The 12th house also connects with spiritual and auspicious activities. You might find yourself engaging in spiritual practices or rituals at home. But since Jupiter is retrograde, there could be delays or changes in plans. Say, for example, dates might shift or change, or you may need to revisit certain arrangements. Despite these hurdles, this is a great time for personal spiritual growth. If your work involves foreign connections like international trade, import, export, or anything tied to overseas dealings, working in MNC, then you may face some hurdles. You might need to redo paperwork or deal with delays and revisions. Traveling abroad for work is possible during this time, but don't be surprised if things don't go as smoothly as planned. Be prepared for extra effort and double check all your documentation to avoid unnecessary headaches. If you have been relying on shortcuts or unethical practices in your career, retrograde Jupiter could make you realize your mistakes in its own unique way. It might even lead to increased expenses as a consequence, so try to reflect and take responsibility and stay on ethical path. Hard work and honesty will serve you better in the long run. If you have been following the path and staying ethical, Saturn in your 9th house will be on your side. 9th house is all about dharma and luck. And Saturn there can bring you positive energy if you have been doing things the right way. Jupiter's 5th aspect falls on your 4th house, which is really positive for you. Why? Because 12th, 4th and 8th houses are connected with Moksha Trikon. Ketu, which also represents Moksha, is positioned in your 4th house. So the spiritual planet Jupiter in 12th, Ketu in 4th, retro Jupiter aspecting your 4th house and 8th house, and Saturn in your 9th house in the Dharma Bhav creates a wonderful combination for spiritual growth. The aspect of retro Jupiter in Rohini on Ketu will boost your connection to spirituality. So it's a perfect moment to work on your inner growth. On the other hand, you should take extra care of your mother's health during this period. Also, it might not be the best period to buy property. So be cautious if that's something you are considering. Now, retrograde Jupiter in Rohini will aspect your 6th house, the sign of Scorpio, with its 7th aspect. As of now, retro Jupiter is aspecting your ascendant Lord Mercury. So try to use this period, this positive aspect of retro Jupiter, to maintain your speech. This is a good time to reflect on how you communicate. Avoid being too harsh and try to stay wise in your words. This energy will also help you in handling competition and day-to-day struggles more smoothly. And now retrograde Jupiter in Rohini will aspect your 8th house, the sign of Capricorn, with its 9th aspect. If you stick to the disciplined daily routine, retrograde Jupiter can actually help guide you out of any health issues you may be dealing with. If you have been unaware of any health problems so far and suddenly discover something, take it as a sign from Jupiter to pay attention and work on it. Don't ignore or underestimate any health concerns. If you address them, Jupiter will offer guidance on how to improve your situation. It's also a good time to be mindful of your food habits, especially since Mars is transiting your second house and aspecting your eighth house. Poor eating habits could make any existing health issues worse. So make sure you are eating in a balanced way. In your relationships, especially with your in-laws, you might need to put in extra effort to maintain harmony. Jupiter, being the seventh lord, is in your 12th house, could also bring opportunities for travel with your spouse. If there are any challenges in your marriage, this might be a great time to plan a trip together, somewhere peaceful, to spend quality time and talk things through. This will give you both a chance to communicate openly and work through any problems. Cancer ascendant. For Cancer natives, retro Jupiter will be entering Rohini nakshatra in the 11th house. If you have been waiting for a promotion or career advancement for a long time, this period might finally bring positive results, especially if your chart supports it. Jupiter in your 11th house, particularly in Rohini nakshatra, can bring gains. But there's a catch. Be cautious about your desires. Jupiter amplifies the energy of the house it occupies. And in this case, it might increase your wish for more and more, whether that's wealth, recognition, or other ambitions. Instead of wanting everything, keep your desires focused and realistic. If your intentions are genuine and you have stayed on an ethical path, this period can bless you with meaningful gains, because retrograde planet is all about reanalyzing and reassessing. And avoid long distance travel during this period. Jupiter, being your ninth lord, your dharma lord, will try to reveal who your real well-wishers are and who's not truly supportive. Pay attention to his wisdom. It's Jupiter's way of guiding you. Retro Jupiter in Rohini will aspect your third house. If you have been trying to start a new venture but facing obstacles, this aspect might help you understand the reasons behind those hurdles. So use this time to understand, reanalyze, and address those challenges. If you work on it, then when Jupiter turns direct, you could see real progress and success in these areas. This aspect will also encourage you to address any relationship issues with your younger siblings. If there have been misunderstandings or conflicts, this is a time to work on resolving them. Retro Jupiter's 7th aspect falls on your 5th house, but it's not the best time to heavily invest in speculative markets. Be cautious in this area. You may also face challenges related to your children, perhaps their health, education, or other concerns. However, retrograde Jupiter's influence is not just about pointing out issues, it also gives you the guidance and patience to work on them. It's a period where hard work and re-evaluation will be necessary to resolve matters in your life. Scorpio, the sign of your 5th house, is currently under heavy planetary influence. Saturn, Rahu, and retrograde Mercury are still impacting it, which can bring significant transformations and delays. This period might even bring change in relationships, especially love relationships. So stay calm and patient. Avoid acting impulsively, as Martian energy affecting your ascendant might tempt you to respond hastily. Instead, approach challenges thoughtfully. The 9th aspect of retrograde Jupiter in Rohini falls on your 7th house. Here, debilitated Mars is also aspecting your 7th house, making you more sensitive or overprotective in your actions and interactions. This might unintentionally cause harm to your relationship with your spouse or business partner. To avoid this, lean on the wisdom of Jupiter. Focus on maintaining harmony and balance in your relationships. Open communication, kindness, and understanding will help you navigate this period positively. Lastly, take care of both your health and your partner's health during this time. Leo ascendant. For Leo natives, retro Jupiter will be entering Rohini nakshatra in your 10th house. This period may bring financial opportunities, especially if you have been waiting for new career prospects. However, Rahu in your 8th house and Jupiter as the 8th lord in retrograde phase may bring some fluctuations in your career. If you have been involved in fields like real estate, agriculture, expect ups and downs and the need for and there is need for extra efforts. You might have to revisit or redo tasks in your career, so stay patient and persistent. Now the 5th aspect of retrograde Jupiter in Rohini falls on your 2nd house. Ketu is also transiting your 2nd house, and other planetary positions in connection with your 2nd house are not in favorable position. So this can bring a lot of frustration and irritation within your family environment. And the possibility of taking out your frustration or anger on your loved ones can be reduced with the help of retro Jupiter's aspect on your 2nd house. If you try to work on your relationships, Jupiter will try to provide you guidance to improve that. Also use this positive aspect of Jupiter to discipline your food choices and your routine life. Now the 7th aspect of retro Jupiter falls on your 4th house. While this isn't the best time to buy property, if you decide to move forward, there might be delays or a need to redo documentation. There's also a possibility that this period may provide you a chance to buy a property outside your native or somewhere far away from your current location. Just be extra cautious with paperwork. Finally, retro Jupiter's 9th aspect influences your 6th house. If you stay disciplined in your routine and address any ongoing health issues, this aspect can guide you towards resolving them. It's a good time to focus on improving your health and daily habits. Virgo Ascendant. For Virgo natives, retrograde Jupiter enters Rohini Nakshatra in your 9th house. A very positive time for spiritual enhancement and growth. This period calls for hard work in your relationships, whether with your parents, siblings, your spouse, or anyone at home. If you consciously work on balancing and improving these relationships, retro Jupiter will reward you with greater family harmony and happiness. If you have struggled to purchase property in the past, this period could open up new opportunities. However, stay alert of potential fraud or errors in documentation. Be cautious and double check all paperwork to avoid any issues. Jupiter, your 7th lord, is also impacted by Rahu transiting your 7th house. If you are a business professional, ensure that your work has been ethical and diligent. Retro Jupiter in Rohini will support growth in your business if you have stayed on the path of dharma. And for those in relationships or those who are married, this can be a tricky period. With retrograde Jupiter in Rohini, a nakshatra which represents relationships, and Rahu in your 7th house, there may be misunderstandings in relationships. And that is why you need to stay humble and open-minded when it comes to dealing with loved ones. Try to understand the nature of surroundings, what is happening in your family, in your relationships with your spouse, and what are the factors that are impacting your relationships. Effort and understanding during this time will allow retro Jupiter in the 9th house, your house of luck, to favor you in resolving issues and achieving growth, whether in your personal or professional life. Now, retro Jupiter's 5th aspect falls on your 1st house. Since the 5th aspect of Jupiter is a teaching aspect, if you have neglected any health issues, this period will likely compel you to address them. Ketu is in your 1st house, and this could bring health concerns to the surface. So don't ignore any signs. Instead, view this as an opportunity for healing and improvement. If you have been following the path of dharma, working ethically, maintaining discipline, and addressing personal challenges, retrograde Jupiter in your 9th house will help you find solutions and bring positive outcomes. This is a time for introspection, effort, and patience, which will ultimately lead to growth and guidance in all areas of your life. Now, the 7th aspect of retro Jupiter in Rohini will fall on your 3rd house. This period can bring opportunities to mend relationships with neighbors or younger siblings. If you have had issues in the past. Retro Jupiter in Rohini Nakshatra provides the wisdom and patience needed to improve these bonds, provided you genuinely wish to do so. For those trying to launch a new venture, Jupiter's influence may give you the chance to take the first step. However, Scorpio's current planetary challenges suggest that hurdles might persist. You may need to rethink, reassess, or even redo certain steps in your planning and execution. Patience and diligence will be crucial to overcoming these obstacles. Now, the ninth aspect of retro Jupiter in Rohini will fall on your 5th house. If you have been preoccupied with work or other commitments, this retrograde Jupiter phase offers an excellent opportunity to spend quality time with your children. Strengthening your bond with them can be both fulfilling and healing during this time. For those trying to conceive, retrograde Jupiter in Rohini may bring positive results, but not without challenges. You might have to face hurdles, and there can be health issues since Mars is aspecting your 5th house and your 5th lord as well. Libra Ascendant. For Libra natives, retrograde Jupiter will be transiting Rohini Nakshatra in your 8th house. Take extra care of your health. The 8th house can highlight issues since Jupiter is retrograde here. You might notice concerns related to knees, stomach, lungs, or throat, especially if there are chronic problems. It's a good time to address these health issues properly instead of ignoring them. On a positive note, this is a period where you can improve your relationship with your in-laws if there have been any tensions. Jupiter in the 8th house brings changes, so be prepared for some ups and downs in your life. However, it's an excellent time to dive into learning something deep. If topics like astrology, mysticism, research, or anything analytical interest you, this transit is very positive or supportive. If you have been dealing with unresolved legal matters or inheritance issues for a long time, this period might finally bring some progress or results in these areas. Jupiter's 5th aspect on your 12th house opens door for spiritual growth. It's a great time to focus on meditation or any activity that helps you connect with your inner self. That said, be mindful of your health here too, as Ketu is also transiting your 12th house and Rahu in the 6th house, which can occasionally cause issues to surface. A small tip for Libra natives. With Jupiter and Ketu influencing your 12th house, incorporating spirituality into your routine will really help. Consider doing a puja, havan, or even listening to calming devotional music. It can bring peace in the chaos of your life. If that's not your style, simple meditation or relaxing music can also work wonders for your mind and energy. This is a time to take care of your body, focus on self-healing, and embrace spiritual practices to find balance and positivity. Retro Jupiter's 7th aspect is now on your 2nd house. If there have been any ongoing family disputes or issues, this period could help you mend those relationships. However, it's important to be mindful of how you speak, as Mercury, your 12th lord, is transiting your 2nd house. Avoid sarcasm, anger, or letting your ego take over. When you speak with care, Jupiter's positive influence can help heal and strengthen family bonds. That said, since Mercury is also transiting your 2nd house, be aware that it could bring unexpected expenses, so manage your expenses wisely. Now, retro Jupiter's 9th aspect falls on your 4th house, which is also being affected by Mars's 7th aspect. Here, it's best to tap into Jupiter's wisdom and focus on maintaining harmony and peace at home. Don't let Mars's fiery energy lead to impulsiveness or conflicts. If you can use Jupiter's calm influence, it will help you keep things peaceful at home. It's not the best time to buy a property. If you do decide to move forward, be sure to double check all the paperwork and make sure everything is in order. Scorpio Ascendants. For Scorpio natives, retro Jupiter enters Rohini Nakshatra in your 7th house. Since Jupiter is transiting your 7th house, the house which represents relationships and marriage, if you are thinking about getting married, it might be better to wait until Jupiter goes direct on February 4. If you have been looking for a partner for a while, you might get engaged during this period, but it's best to wait until after Jupiter goes direct to plan the marriage. If you are considering starting a new venture or business, especially in fields like agriculture, real estate, or anything related to land or organic products, this could be a good time to see more positive results. But be ready to face a few challenges such as redoing some paperwork. So careful analysis in everything will be much needed before moving forward. And hard work will be needed, so make sure to take your time with these decisions. With retro Jupiter's 5th aspect falling on your 11th house, if you have been working hard for a long time, then this retro Jupiter could bring some positive financial results. But remember, gains aren't always just about money. Sometimes they can be knowledge, spiritual growth, or even better relationships. On a positive side, for those of you waiting for promotion at work, this is a good time, and your luck may turn in your favor if you have been putting in the effort at work, staying ethical, and not seeing financial rewards. Retrograde Jupiter could bring some positive financial changes as long as you stay on the right path. Now, retro Jupiter's 9th aspect falls on your 3rd house. As said earlier, you may initiate something new during this period if done wisely and with patience. If there have been issues with your younger siblings or neighbors, retro Jupiter might help you fix those relationships. However, keep in mind that Mars is also influencing your 3rd house. So some challenges or conflicts could arise or remain persistent. Sagittarius Ascendant. For Sagittarius natives, retro Jupiter transits Rohini Nakshatra in your 6th house. This brings a strong focus on health, so be extra cautious right now. Mars is in your 8th house and will soon go retrograde there too, which means Jupiter may bring any hidden health issues to light, especially if you have had health problems that you weren't aware of. If any issues do come up, don't ignore them. Take actions to address them. Pay special attention to issues related to your stomach, lungs, or chest. Things like respiratory problems or any chronic issues in these areas. This applies to your mother as well, so be mindful of her health as well, along with yours. To avoid health problems, try to maintain a positive routine. Eat on time, sleep on time, follow healthy habits that support your overall well-being. If you stay on top of this, Jupiter can guide you towards better health and help you manage any issues that arise. This period also reveals who your true well-wishers are, so stay alert and pay attention to the people around you. Retro Jupiter's 5th aspect is on your 10th house, which affects your career. If you have been struggling to find a job, this could be the time when opportunities finally show up. However, be aware that this period might bring some dissatisfaction in your career because Ketu is also influencing your 10th house. So try to make career decisions with patience of Saturn and wisdom of Jupiter. This approach will lead to positive long-term results. Now, retro Jupiter's 7th aspect falls on your 12th house. A very positive period for spirituality. It's also a wonderful time to help others or donate to those in need. This will benefit you greatly. You can also do spiritual activities at home like meditation or prayer, which will bring peace and positivity in your life. Now, retro Jupiter's 9th aspect falls on your 2nd house. If you have been on the path of dharma, on the path of righteousness, on ethical path, then this retro Jupiter will provide you new financial resources. However, because Mars is also affecting this house, expect some fluctuations in your family and financial situation. There could be some relief in your finances, but things might not be fully stable yet. If there's any chaos in your family life, Jupiter's influence here can help you guide to improve relationships as long as you are willing to put in the effort. Capricorn Ascendant. For Capricorn natives, retro Jupiter enters Rohini Nakshatra in your 5th house. If you have been trying to conceive for a long time, this period might bring success, but there could be some hurdles along the way. Take care of your health during this time. For those with children, this phase could help resolve ongoing issues or strengthen your bond with them. It's a wonderful time to spend quality time with your kids and deepen those relationships. Invest wisely in speculative markets. Retro Jupiter's 5th aspect is on your 9th house, which brings luck and spiritual growth. If you have been walking on ethical path and working hard, this aspect will favor you, bringing positive outcomes. It's also a great time for spiritual healing. Keep an eye on your father's health, as Ketu is transiting your 9th house, which could cause some concerns. If you are willing to work on improving your relationship with your father, this period might guide you towards healing and better understanding. Now, retro Jupiter's 7th aspect falls on your 11th house, highlighting financial gains and the fulfillment of desires. While opportunities for gains are present, you will need to put in extra effort to fully secure them. This period supports those who have been ethical in their career and life choices, rewarding their honesty and dedication. Jupiter will also help you see who your true supporters are in your social circle. Finally, retro Jupiter's 9th aspect falls on your 1st house, your ascendant, making it a great time for self-reflection. Use this phase to reassess your past actions and work on improving your mistakes. This process will help you grow spiritually and might even bring financial benefits. That said, avoid heavy investments in speculative markets right now. If you have been ignoring health concerns, Jupiter will nudge you to take action, helping you understand how to improve your well-being. Aquarius Ascendant. For Aquarius natives, retrograde Jupiter in Rohini Nakshatra will transit your 4th house, bringing family and home issues to the forefront. If there have been ongoing problems at home, this period might help you resolve them. For those trying to buy or sell property, this can be a favorable period. You might see positive developments in these areas, so it's worth exploring these opportunities if they align with your plans. However, there could be some paperwork redos or minor delays, or stay prepared. So stay prepared. However, there could be some paperwork redos or minor delays, so stay prepared. For those in real estate or agriculture or fields related to land and organic farming, this transit is favorable and could lead to positive financial outcomes. You may also feel more relaxed and at peace at home during this time, making it a great period to spend quality moments with your loved ones. Retro Jupiter's 5th aspect falls on your 8th house, which highlights the need to take extra care of your health. Saturn is transiting your 1st house, Mars is in your 6th house, and Ketu is in your 8th house. A very tricky combination for health matters. If health issues arise, this Jupiter transit can guide you towards solving solutions, provided you take proactive steps. This aspect also supports deep learning, research, and exploring subjects like astrology, occult sciences, archaeology, technical fields, or mysticism. It's an excellent time for diving into these areas with focus and dedication. Now, retro Jupiter's 7th aspect falls on your 10th house. As said earlier, it is a positive time for financial growth and career advancement. So if you have been struggling to find a job, Jupiter may guide you towards opportunities. Just make sure that you are always ethical and on the path of dharma in your career. If you do that, then this period will guide you to the path where it will create positive foundation for your career in the future. Finally, retro Jupiter's 9th aspect is on your 12th house, bringing opportunities related to foreign lands. This could mean career related travel or even settling abroad. If you already live away from your native land, this transit might help you purchase property there. Again, it's an excellent time for spiritual growth. Consider engaging in spiritual activities whether at home or elsewhere, as this can bring you peace and positivity. Pisces Ascendant. For Pisces natives, retro Jupiter enters Rohini Nakshatra in your 3rd house. This is a great time to mend broken relationships with siblings and identify true well-wishers among your neighbors and close circle. Jupiter may also provide insights and guidance for initiating new ventures. Though some hurdles are likely due to Ketu's position in your 7th house, keep your desires in check. Jupiter's influence can amplify them. Desires are positive when aligned with dharma, but imbalance can lead to challenges, especially in relationships. Retro Jupiter's 5th aspect falls on your 7th house. Now with Ketu in your 7th house, maintaining harmony with your partner requires politeness and wisdom. Communicate with care and approach disagreements with patience. This will allow Jupiter's blessings to positively influence your relationships. Retro Jupiter's 7th aspect falls on your 9th house, Scorpio. Due to the other planetary impact on your 9th house, this could create some challenges. Apart from that, focus on your father's health and use this period to improve your relationship with them. It's also a favorable time for spirituality, higher studies, and finding a guru or mentor. By the end of May 2025, significant shifts will occur in these areas. Now, retro Jupiter's 9th aspect falls on your 11th house. This transit will bring positive financial gains, career advancements, or financial improvements. If you have been on an ethical and righteous path, it's a great time to mend relationships with elder siblings or strengthen connections with genuine friends and well-wishers in the society. Use this time for self-growth, focus on maintaining harmony in relationships, and make decisions aligned with your values. I hope this helps. Do not forget to subscribe this channel and like and share this video with your friends and family. See you in the next video. Until then, Namaste.